Who was Maxwell Perkins? Maxwell Perkins was a Harvard graduate, reporter of the New York Times between 1907 and 1910. He then got back into his writing sort of forte, because that's what he was known to do in Harvard. He started advertising in advertising department in Charles Scribner's and Sons. He moved up to editorial staff in 1914, and then eventually became the editorial director and VP of Charles Scribner's. He read the manuscript of Fitzgerald in 1918. It was declined twice until revision in 1920, and that's when The Side of Paradise was released. He also publicised for Hemingway as well as Thomas Wolfe, and quite a few other big known classic novelists. The relationship between Scott and the company, Charles Scribner's and Sons, from what people have gathered, was not a happy relationship. The only relationship that was known between the company and Scott was Maxwell. And again, like I said in a video before, Maxwell was very protective over Scott, and he was very much he was protective over Scott, but he also saw the money side of it as well. So as much as he cared about Scott, he mostly cared about his writing and how much money he could get from Scott's writing. He did have a protector side to him, because he knew that if nothing was produced, then he wouldn't get money for it. So he cared for him in that way, which is also why he suggested to publish Zelda's book under Scott's name, because he knew that he'd get more money for it rather than if he published it under Zelda's.